Hi folks, Joe+livoti here. Today I'm going to do a short video on alternate picking. I get a lot of students come to me, older students who have been playing a long time, mostly self-taught, and frequently they're running into problems that they'll tell me I can't play as fast as I want to, or my timing is off. When I play fast, I fall out of timing. And a lot of times as they're telling me these things and diddling around on their guitar, I notice right away that they have some right hand techniques that are probably standing in the way of progress. And so today I'm going to show you some exercises that I normally show to students about 3 or 4 lessons in, once we get a few basic chord shapes down and strum a few easy progressions. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to hold the pick properly. I normally use a thumb pick for finger picking reasons, but I start most students on the flat pick just because it's easier and more practical. The first thing you want to do is make sure your wrist is level and there's no curve this way or this way, right? It's a straight line and a straight line. That protects my carpal tunnel and my ulnar nerve, and also, as you'll see in a minute, gives me a better attack on the strings. So the first thing I do is extend my hand, place the pick flat on top of the index finger this way. Loosely put the thumb on it. It shouldn't touch the middle finger. A lot of people do this with 3 fingers, and now your wrist is arched. You're eliminating the use of the middle finger if you want to pluck some notes with it, with the pick, like that. Right? So I hold the pick on top of the index finger and flat. Put the thumb loosely on top of it, and then I point the center of my hand directly into the sound hole. At that point I can monkey with the pick a little bit and make sure it's also pointing straight into the sound hole. And then I rest the pick flat on top of string 6. So I have a straight line, a flat pick between my thumb and the top edge of my index finger. Now I'm just going to practice a few rest strokes, going straight down and letting the pick land directly flat on string 5. So I'm not pulling the pick away from the guitar. I'm letting string 5 actually stop the pick for me. Then I start adding an upstroke. At all times I want the pick flat across the string like this, not on an edge like that, because then I'm going to get scraping noises, right? And I don't want that. I want a straight line. I want to produce the tone, activate the string. So now I do my down and ups, and I'm holding the pick loosely. So I'm letting it rock back and forth in between my fingers. And what you want to do when you do this exercise, I'm going to put the metronome on, and my metronome will be on 60. You want to practice everything slowly. And I start at a very low volume, right? It's hard to play softly if I'm holding the pick tight, because now I'm driving more force into the string. So start at a low volume and gradually work your way louder. And what you'll see is as you play louder, you need to grip the pick harder to drive more force into the string. Notice also, I'm not resting my hands on the bridge. I'm not holding on to the face of the guitar. It feels like a strum. And I'm just doing it on one string. That's going to enable me later to go smoothly from strums to single notes without changing my hand position back and forth, which makes it hard to play chord melodies and chord improvs. So now we get that down and we try it on each string. So I'm going to put my metronome on 60. Soften up my hand. Keep the pick level. Low volume. As you get better at this, try not to look at your hands, right? You'll be reading music or looking at your band members, you don't want to be staring down. So the other thing that's helpful with this is when you're playing slow, you can incorporate what's called a prepared stroke. We borrowed this from classical guitar. Just prior to the stroke, I touch the string with the pick to make sure it's level and not on an edge. So it looks like this. Touch, down and up, touch, down and up. Now as I go faster, I can't really do this. That's why we practice slow. Practice everything slow. Just slow down. Think metronomically, even if your metronome isn't on. Right? Down and up on every string. Increase your volume. Notice that I'm gripping the pick harder. You can probably see that. But I'm not pulling my hand away like that. And I'm not here in this and all that. It's just a strumming motion all the way up and down. The third and last part of this simple exercise is going to be to alternate pick across the strings. So I'm going to do it down on 6, up on 5, down on 4, up on 3, and so on. Then I start on a down on 1. Okay. Put my metronome on. Oh. There we go. Try that again. And then you want to, eventually try that with a chord, try it at speed. Right? Now, once you get the hang of that, you can try this with some scales you might already know. Try it with a blues scale. Already know that scale, but be playing in it, with some weird all downs or mixture of down and ups. Again, it should feel like a strum. Right. Now, at the intermediate level with my students, we start working on my Complete Scale and Chord Theory for Guitar book, available on Amazon. And we start with this scale, which is a scale for some reason a lot of people already know coming in, and the major scale from finger 2. And we apply alternate picking to that scale. Right? And then you can try that, on some patterns. Any of that stuff that you might know, but always moving with that strumming motion. So later on, if I'm going from a chord to a riff like we do in blues a lot, right? Right, that kind of thing. I'm going from the strum to the single notes with the same motion. Right? Or if I'm improvising in between the chords. When I go from the chords to the single notes, it's always with that beat, right? So I may mess up a note or two, but I'll probably stay in time, hopefully. And that's it for this video. In upcoming videos, I'm going to cover sweep picking, basic strumming skills, maybe some brush strumming, like this country kind of strumming stuff, and some finger picking, and all that. And maybe I'll do a video on kind of the adaptations that I make with the thumb pick. So good luck with your playing. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comments section, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. And good luck with your playing.